What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. I'm actually doing something that I never done before. I'm going to talk about a song by the Eagles. And this particular song was written by a friend of mine that I talked to yesterday, Jack Tempchin. And it's off their, came out in 1972. And Glenn Frey is the lead singer on it. Those of you that know the Eagles probably know what song I'm talking about. But it was a big hit. It was on their first greatest hits record. And I'm going to talk about the chord progression, about diatonic songs, like this is a perfect song, perfect diatonic song. What does that mean, diatonic? That means it's in one key. And how do we analyze diatonic songs? We use Roman numerals, or in Nashville, they use a Nashville number system, but they're basically the same things. So, these things, though, I'm going to talk about are the exact things that I teach from the ground up in my courses that I have on sale. If you guys are trying to master this stuff, I'm bringing back my complete Beato method for $109 for the week up through next Friday. It's got everything in one place: my ear training course, my Beato book interactive, which is my theory course, the entire system that everybody can go to my homepage, rickbeato.com, and find the stuff there. And we're going to talk about things that I get into right in the beginning of teaching music theory that I always taught when I was teaching at this place, Buckhead Music, when I first moved to Atlanta. This is a song that I would commonly teach. And because it's a strumming song, and these are the kind of things that I have in my beginning guitar course, even, right? And but there's there's subtleties in this song that are really interesting that happen right in the beginning of the song, and I'll talk about it and everything. There's a simplified way to play this, and I'll play the beginning of the song. But if you listen carefully, hear that little B bender? Now, some of you may say, oh, it sounds like you're just going E major, maybe E sus4. Well, it is, but there's actually some other chords. It's all over in E bass. That's basically the intro there. It's a simplified way. There's other guitars that are kind of creating those chords. Verse. So let's talk about that. I'm playing kind of the composite of what the guitars are doing. So it starts out E. These are all one bar apiece. E sus4 to E. That's basically like A over E. A major triad over E to basically B minor over E. Back to A over E. Back to B minor over E. Back to A over E. It's kind of like what, if you put the different guitars together, that's basically what the intro is here. Call it the intro. These are just variations on an E chord, but you can go, it's like you got the one chord, then you got one sus4, then you got one, then you have like a 4 over 1, then you have a that B minor over E is like a would be a like a 6 minor or 5 minor, sorry, over 1 to 4 over 1. And, not necessarily important to have all this. This looks like too much here. On here, I just basically diagrammed it out with some Roman numerals there. But Roman numerals are how we analyze song structure and chord progressions. Okay, so then it gets into some basic chords in the verse. Listen. Against your skin so brown. Okay, so E, A, E, A, E, A, B. Right? So it's like verse part. I like the way, starts on the third of the chord, the melody. I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. Goes to the fifth of the B major chord. Let me play along with that. I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. And I want to sleep with you in the desert. 1, 4, 1, 4, 5. Okay, so the verse is 1, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 5, 5. Okay, so here's the verse with the Roman numerals. Those show you the chords that are in this key. If I were to write out the chords in the key of E, let me just do this. E major has the chords E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B major, C sharp minor, and then D sharp diminished. So it's 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished. Some of you are like, oh, Rick, it's a 7 half diminished. No, it's not, because we're just doing triads. So anybody that's going to write that in the comments, wait. Oh, there we go. So there are chords there in the key of E major. That's why when I say that the verse is going from 1, wherever it is here, boy, it's hard to do this like this. Verse is going 1, 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, right? So if we go back here, we got the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. Okay? And then the chorus goes to the 4 chord, A major. That's why we call this diatonic. It's all in one key. And then okay, so let me write this in for the chorus. So he changes the harmonic rhythm here. Jack is a phenomenal songwriter. He played a song for me yesterday that was amazing. He's one of the best lyricists. He's just a genius. So it's like this. Yeah, peaceful. They change the harmonic rhythm. When I say change the harmonic rhythm, now it goes to 2 chords per bar. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then it goes A, then F sharp minor 7 really, to B. Okay, so let me go back just a little bit. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2 chord, 5 chord, then E, F sharp minor, A, B, and it goes to interlude. What I love about this is honestly, this is one of the first songs I ever learned on the guitar. So it's the 4 chord here, to the 1, to the 4. It's hard to write like this. And then to the 2 minor 7. That's really nice. 5, 1, 2 minor 7, 4, 5. This is a perfect diatonic song. When I say diatonic, once again, I mean that I just wrote with marker on my guitar. That means a diatonic chord progression is one that uses chords only from the parent key here, and the key is E major here. Okay, so this is a great song, perfect melody, perfect lyrics. Let's see here. Kings of Copyright, good luck keeping this public. Just to confirm, Rick, does that $109 bundle, Sarah Chen, confirm Rick, it's Rick with a CK. Does that $109 bundle really include the 500-page interactive Beato book? That alone seems worth the price. Amazing offer. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Sarah, that includes the Beato book interactive. It is the 500-page PDF, but it's a video course. My ear training course that has hundreds of interactive modules in it. My Quick Lessons Pro, which is more of like an intermediate guitar course. My Music Theory for Songwriters, perfect thing for today's episode. My beginner guitar course that you can play this entire song using my beginner guitar course. And then, of course, my Arpeggio Masterclass. So if you were to play the arpeggios, I'm thinking like, then you do A, B, F sharp minor, F sharp minor 7, really. Those are all the arpeggios that you would need for it, but Sarah, mind blown. No way. There you go. Awesome. Let me continue on. I found out a long time ago what a woman can do to your soul. I love all this B bender stuff. But she can't take you anyway. You don't already know how to go. And I got a peaceful, easy feelings. Great harmonies. And I know you won't let me down. I like let me down. Cause I'm already standing. Those harmonies are so perfect. My God. On the ground. That's, I mean, really. Beautiful. Like, just the perfect solo. It's a B bender. It sounds like a pedal to make it sound like a pedal steel. I love that lick. I get this feeling I may know you as a lover and a friend. I mean, listen to those perfect harmony parts there.
This voice keeps whispering in my other ear, tells me I may never see you.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this. Is kind of interesting thing about this song as well, on the production side of it. So the song, this record was produced by Glyn Johns. And a lot of people don't know that Glyn Johns, you're probably saying, who's Glyn Johns? Glyn Johns produced Zeppelin 1, and his brother, Andy Johns, worked on the second record along with trying to think if he worked on the second record. He worked on Zeppelin 4. Andy did Zeppelin 4, and I want to say Presence. I'm going to look up. But Glyn Johns worked on The Who. Oh, my God. He did so many of The Who records. Let me see here. Let me see if Zeppelin, if Andy Johns worked on Zeppelin 2. Glyn 2. Let me see here. It was done with... He definitely, I think he definitely engineered some of it. Obviously, Jimmy Page produced, but when I said he produced, he engineered Zeppelin 1, Glyn Johns. Let's see here. Recording engineers, Andy Johns and Eddie Kramer, and Chris Hudson, and George Kantz, is that his name, at Olympic Studios, because they did the second record in a bunch of different studios. But Glyn Johns engineered and mixed the first Zeppelin record, and he did a lot of the Who records, but he did like the first two Eagles records, which are really incredibly good sounding. And you think of him, when you think of Zeppelin 1, him recording that, think of like Good Times, Bad Times, and Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, and Dazed and Confused. What else is on that record? You guys know all the records on that second record. And then listen to this and see if you can hear that sound.
I get a peaceful, easy feeling.
It's got beautiful stereo imaging, incredibly well. Just everything about this, it's so well recorded. Somebody missed the beginning here. Bob said I said it was written by Jack Tempchin, who I talked to yesterday. I know Jack. Jack's amazing. I literally talked to him yesterday, and I heard one of his new songs. That was incredible. But Glyn Johns is somebody that I would love to have on the channel. If anyone knows Glyn Johns and how to get in touch with him, he is somebody that I would absolutely love to interview, because any of you that saw the Get Back documentary that Peter Jackson did, Glyn Johns is all over that, along with George Martin, but he's in the video a lot, and he's been part of recording history. All the big Who records. I mean, just so many. And his brother Andy as well. Dean, Andy Wallace video. Still working on it, Dean. It's 3 hours long. These things take a long time to edit, just to put in the songs. Getting back to the idea of a diatonic song, it's really interesting because this particular song, you don't see a lot of this nowadays. For some reason, 2 minor chords, right? This F sharp minor. This used to be far more standard to do back in the day, back in the 70s. 2 minor chords were a lot more common than they are. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they that people don't use them. They really naturally go to the 5 chord. They're called predominant chords. When you talk about, you have tonic chords, you have predominant, and you have dominant chords. Now, when somebody talks about a dominant chord, they're usually talking about the 5 chord, right? So the tonic chord would be the 1 chord, right? Predominant chord could be the 2 chord or the 4 chord. Now, not to confuse people, but there are other tonic chords that we could say, like I'd say the 3 chord could be a tonic chord or considered a tonic chord. It depends on how many notes it shares with the tonic chord. If you have an E major chord, E, G sharp, B, and I take the predominant, let's say the A major chord, A, C sharp, E, and then the dominant chord, which is B major, B, D sharp, F sharp. Anything that shares 2 notes with the tonic chord, okay, like the 3 chord, that shares 2 notes, right? It shares G sharp and B. So the 3 chord, you could consider to be a tonic type chord. It's not the tonic chord in this case, right? Because the 3 chord has the notes G sharp, B, D sharp. Okay? So it has this, this, this. That's the 3 chord. The 2 chord shares 2 notes of the it shares the A and the C sharp. So the 2 chord here, F sharp minor, it's F sharp, A, C sharp. Okay? So this is the 2 chord. This is the 4 chord right here. This is the 2 chord. I'm not going to get into that much. This is the 1 chord and the 3 chord. Okay, so I go into far greater depth about tonic chords. Typically in chord progressions typically flow like this, in that order, okay? They typically flow from tonic to predominant to dominant and then back. And if you look at it, let's take the chorus here. Or let's take the verse. How does it flow? It flows from the tonic to the predominant, back to the tonic. That's called a plagal cadence, a 1-4 cadence. Back to the predominant, the 4 chord. Back to tonic, predominant, dominant. Okay, and then the chorus is the 4 chord, right? So it's 4-1. That's predominant to tonic. That once again, that's called a plagal cadence. Plagal cadence. Then it goes back to the predominant, to another predominant, the 2 chord, and then to the dominant, and then back to the 1, predominant, predominant, dominant. So chord progressions either flow from the tonic to the 4 chord, back to the tonic, and that's called the plagal cadence, a 4-1 cadence. So 1, 4, 1, okay, or 1, 5, 1. That would be an authentic cadence, okay, when it goes to the 5 chord. Why is it important? Well, it's important for for understanding about writing. It's to have the natural flow of chord patterns, like how they flow to make sense make sense to the listener's ear, because these are very common to have chord progressions move like this. Okay, I have a couple comments on here. Did somebody say minor 7 flat 5 on here? I knew we were going to get somebody that said this here. Yeah. Oh, Dean, what are you talking about there? Okay, Leo, thank you very much. Thank you for your videos. I appreciate it. Mark Thompson writes, Rick, great stream song, old videos where you compare chords and pick the right one, major versus minor versus diminish. Is that practice in offer? Yes, Mark. That is part of my ear training course, where it's like we did do that. Where I did that in a live stream where I talked about, is this a major chord, a minor chord? I played them on the keyboard for people to see if they knew, right? And this is a part of my ear training course, is to learn to hear not only just whether chords are major or minor, whether they're dominant, whether they're suspended, what the chord progression is. So you should be able to listen to this song with one listening and say, okay, one chord, four chord, one chord, four chord, one chord, four chord, five chord. And then you should go chorus, four chord, one chord, four chord, one chord, two chord, no, four chord, one chord, four chord, one chord, four chord, two chord, five chord. And then one chord, two chord, four chord, five chord is how it goes. You can get all of these things that I'm talking about as part of my bundle this week. That's the complete Beato method, which is all 6 of my courses. I don't do any ads on my channel. I sell my courses, and that's the only ad read I ever do. And it's the this week it's the 6 courses, which is my Beato book interactive, which is a video course and a 500-page PDF. But it's mainly a video course, and it's got hundreds of examples, audio examples. It's got video lectures about music theory. And my ear training course has hundreds of interactive modules that you go and you test yourself on these things. It teaches you how to hear intervals, how to hear chords, whether it's major, minor, diminished, augmented, things like that. My Quick Lessons Pro, which is more of an intermediate course. My Music Theory for Songwriters, which talks about all these kind of things, how chord progressions flow, how to use things like chromatic mediants or secondary dominants or things like that to make your chord progressions more interesting. My beginner guitar course and my Arpeggio Masterclass. This goes away on Friday, so get it. You can get it till Friday night at midnight, and you will learn how to. Maddie K says, you bought my course and it's need to learn theory. This is a relatively painless way to do it. Come on, Maddie, it's painless. Doesn't hurt your fingers, unless of course you're a beginning guitarist and you're working on the beginning guitar course and you have a little bit of pain for probably about 5 days or so. Those of you that are that have learned to play the guitar from the beginning, how long does it really take till your fingers don't hurt? Probably 5 days, maybe. If you practice every day, you can learn it in 5 days. Let's see here. There's, I see somebody talking about mediants and submediants and everything. So every scale degree has a name. The 1 chord is called the tonic. 2 chords is supertonic. 3 chord is the mediant. The 4 chord is the subdominant. 5 chords a dominant. 6 chords submediant. And the 7 chord is the leading tone. It's not important really for right now, but these are things that I get into in the Beato book, is to get into these names of these. You know, somebody says, oh, it goes to the mediant there. That means it goes to the 3 chord. Somebody says Don Henley will have this blocked pretty quickly if he's able to. Well, this is fair use since I am actually talking about the structure of the song. I'm talking about the production of the song. I'm talking about the history of the guy that produced it, Glyn Johns, what other records he's produced. I talked about Jack Temchin that wrote the song. It was not written by any of the Eagles. Did you guys know the Eagles are just called Eagles? It's not the Eagles. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but if you look them up, although people refer to them as the Eagles, right? If you're going to talk about it, you're going to talk about, well, you're going to talk about eagles, right? If you talk about eagles, people think you're talking about birds. Anyways, enough of that. We'll see what happens with this, but you can get. We'll see if the video stays up. Maybe it won't. I think it will, if I had to predict, because this is. I predict it will. Don will see me in court. You guys are amazing. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Really good to see everyone. And I got some concerts coming to town this week. Toto's coming to Atlanta. Toto with Christopher Cross, and who else is playing with them? I forget who the third group is, but I'm going to go out and see them play, see Luke, see the band. You guys are amazing. If you're at Toto, we'll see you. See Christopher Cross. Be awesome. All right. Listen, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk, all right? Take care. See you later.